Hello everyone, I'm Paul and welcome to Gentleman Outdoors. Today I'm going to show you 3 different ways I cover my firewood to protect it from the elements, specifically rain and snow. The first one is I use vapor barrier, 6 mil. And what I do is I buy a full roll, 100 feet long by 10 feet wide, and I cut it up to fit approximately 1 row at a time of a full cord, so 3 face cords at a time. So what I ended up doing is I ended up with a 5-foot by approximately 25-foot long piece of vapor barrier, and I hang it over top of the wood. And to secure it onto the wood, I use a couple blocks of wood, a couple pieces of split wood, and I tie it with a rope. And I just sling it over top, like you can see here. And what I do is I run it about every 6 feet, and I always add a couple more at the end. I'll show you in a minute the entire row. The nice thing about putting the vapor barrier on top of the wood is very easy to do, very quick. Now, you might think it might trap a lot of the moisture in. It doesn't, and the reason for that is that because I'm putting the wood blocks hanging over top about every 6 feet apart, is that a lot of wind can get up underneath. As you can see here, the wind will blow and underneath it will allow the wood to dry nicely. So the vapor barrier is not building up a lot of moisture underneath. You'll see a little bit sometimes on some days, you'll see a little bit of moisture on the vapor barrier, but it's not on the wood. So let's take a further look at the pile I've got here. You can see here basically what I do is have multiple blocks tied to a rope on each end. And as I go down, I tie up about every 6 feet. And that does allow for the wind to blow up through underneath to keep the wood nice and dry. Okay, let's get on to the second way I cover my wood. Another way I cover my firewood is by throwing old plywood sheets on top. This is my least favorite way, and the reason for that is, as you can see here, there's tons of snow, and if I want to get at my wood, it's very difficult to get it all out, and it's quite a bit of a big job to do. As you've seen on the vapor barrier, there's barely any snow on it. So let's move on to the third way. The third and final way that I cover up my firewood is inside this 10 by 10 foot shed. I also have to use mothballs in here to keep the rodents away. Also, my 2 doors that I have here you see open, I try to keep them open as much as I can to keep the moisture down. If I close the doors, what I find is the moisture builds up too much inside the shed and the wood starts to rot. So those are the 3 ways I cover up my firewood to help protect it from the elements. As you see behind me, I've closed the doors. We're expecting some snow coming tomorrow, and I don't want all the snow blowing inside. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, share it with a friend. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button down below. It will help me out with my channel. Thanks once again for watching Gentleman Outdoors. We'll see you next time.